When opening a virtual patient from your cases, you'll be able to see it inside of the editor. You can first of all rotate the virtual patient by clicking and dragging. You can also move it by holding the Control key and then dragging, or pressing Control and scrolling in order to zoom in or out. Next up, let's have a look at the top left corner of the screen. Here there is a small drop-down menu next to the Relu icon that shows you the export option, different settings that you can change, getting additional help on how to use the app, go back to the cases, or log out from the application. On the right of this drop-down menu, there is a save icon. This icon will light up the moment you've made any changes to the virtual patient. Now, when moving to the top right, you will see the name of this particular file shown here, with next to it 2 small arrows pointing to the left, which when you click on them, you will open up your sidebar. In the sidebar, there are 3 different sections. The first one being the different modes, second one being the anatomy selector, and then thirdly, you'll have your different display options. Let's first have a look at the different modes. Right now, you are looking at the Fuse preview. This is a preview that shows the crowns of the intraoral scan and the roots from the CBCT fused together. Next, the other CBCT structures are shown as normal. Now let's have a look at what happens when we click Edit iOS. This brings us to a menu where the segmentation of the AI can be verified and changed if necessary. The same applies for the registration. This can be fully changed manually inside of this menu. Finally, we can also edit the CBCT segmentations by clicking on Edit CBCT. This brings us to the anatomy selector. You will see that there are different structures over here that you can select. When there is a dotted line, it means that the structure has not yet been segmented. When there's a full line, you can select it and you'll be able to see that particular structure. You can also use a shift and click in order to select multiple structures at once, or use commands or control for Windows users to select separate structures as well. You can also click the circle on the left to select all the teeth at the same time. You can also select the mandible, the maxillary complex, the maxillary sinuses as well, the pharynx, and the nerves, and finally the soft tissue. You can double click a structure in order to hide it. Finally, let's move to the different display options. Now, we are looking at the full 3D view. But if we want to have a look at the different views of the CBCT, we can click on ortho slices in order to show the axial view, the coronal view, and the sagittal view. The raw CBCT is now being shown to you, together with the segmentations of the AI or of the user overlaid on top of it. If you do not wish to see those, you can click on the Hide Segmentations button in the bottom left corner. You can also use the V button to do the same. You will also see that there are 3 buttons inside of each view. The bottom one can be used in order to close a view, the middle one to go full screen on that particular view, and the final one, after being zoomed in or you've dragged around the view, you can reset the camera and go back to the original view. Next, in the bottom right corner, you can also select the different structures, such as your SAF view, which is automatically being generated when uploading a CBCT, or add different structures over here as well. Let's use the actual view to have a look at the view settings. Here, you can first of all change the opacity of the segmentation. Secondly, you can change the brightness of the CBCT scan itself, as well as the contrast. And finally, there is the option to change the smoothness and the actual precision of your 3D model. You can do this again by dragging around it the ball to the left in order to decrease the smoothness, or to the right in order to increase it, which you can see after refreshing the 3D model, as it has become more smooth now. You can also change the actual precision. By dragging it to the left, you actually increase the precision or the number of triangles that are being generated for this particular 3D model. Finally, when selecting a slice and a structure at the same time, it allows you to select any of the different tools that are possible to change the segmentation. We will go into more detail in one of the upcoming videos.